series, which is a series of presentations addressing the subject of quality club meetings. This speech is one of two speeches she needs to deliver in order to achieve her Advanced Leader Bronze designation. The objectives of this speech are to share information about activities beyond individual Toastmasters clubs and use visual aids effectively. Please join me in welcoming Alice to present Going Beyond Our Club.
Thanks so much, Alex. Thanks to Venus, our Toastmaster, and thanks to all of you for listening to my speech today. In hearing the introduction, I had forgotten that I had said one of the objectives of my speech is to use visual aids effectively. For those of you who saw me before the meeting, you saw I was running around trying different computers, trying to get this to work. I was about to give up, but fortunately, the visual aid came through, so now I can meet that objective of my speech. So I want to talk to you all today about going beyond our club. A lot of our conversation and a lot of our time is spent focused in on Fi-Di Toastmasters. What are we doing? Ryan's speech was a great illustration of different tasks and different goals that we set for ourselves, different things we want to accomplish in terms of our performance, and different opportunities to engage, including what is the focus of today's meeting, mentorship. How can we support each other to achieve our goals and advance our skills? There are opportunities to do all of those things beyond our club as well, and that's what I want to talk about today. There are several different things. I'm going to back up because actually this is a canned speech, including canned PowerPoint slides from Toastmasters International. So we cannot edit them. If I could edit them, I would have this slide read, the three things I'm going to talk about today are speech contest, leadership roles, and conference opportunities. Those are ways to engage in Toastmasters beyond our club. So let's talk about speech contests. Last club meeting, we had an evaluation speech contest. Now, our district recently changed things this year for the first time in that clubs are no longer holding fall speech contests at all levels. Clubs can hold them individually, as we did, but you don't move on beyond the club in that competition. However, in the spring, there'll be contests where you can participate at our level and at our club, and then if you win that competition, you move on to various levels. In fact, one of the speech contests, the international speech contest, you have the potential to speak on a world stage at the Toastmasters International Conference. The person who is the Toastmaster speaker, the world champion public speaker who is awarded at that conference starts at a club just like ours. So that could be something to think about. So at speech contests, the roles obviously, you can be a contestant. If you perform well and you are the first place winner in a speech contest here in our club, you can move beyond that. You can also be an MC at a contest beyond our club. So that would be basically a Toastmaster, serving as the person who's managing the meeting. For those of you at the evaluation contest last week, you know that I filled that role. That could be you at a speech contest at a level beyond our club. So having experience here in our club is great to support you there. And it's great to have a different audience in which to practice these skills. Like we had judges at our contest, we need judges at the contests at various levels as well. Some of the requirements to be judging in a contest, you require experience. So you may have the need to have given a certain number of speeches, have a certain designation in order to serve in that role. But if you do, think about it. It's a great opportunity to view different people's speaking styles and see what your reactions are to them and how you might evaluate them. And of course, there are other roles just as we have here in terms of the ballot counters, the people who take what the judges conclude and provide the results, the timers, as Aline is today for our speeches and other components of today's meetings, and then sergeant at arms, people to set up the meeting and make sure it functions properly. Everybody loves an audience. I practice this speech at home by myself in front of the mirror. It's not the same as delivering it to you guys. So having a good, receptive audience at this speech contest makes a world of difference. If you hear of contests happening at the various levels that I'm going to talk about in a moment, I encourage you to attend. Not only do you get to see great speakers from clubs all over the district, you get to participate in other ways as well. So I want to talk about leadership opportunities. There are a variety of leadership opportunities that you can have on the within our club, as Ryan talked about, president, vice president education, vice president membership, treasurer, but there are other roles that are outside of the club. I have stepped into one of these roles this year. As you all know, I was the president of our club last year, and so I'm having the opportunity to experience something very different being an area director. I work with 6 clubs, all in the financial district, supporting them to make sure they're achieving their goals. Hopefully they can all be president's distinguished, but every club is in a different place, so I'm supporting them where they are and ensuring they are moving to meet their goals, whatever they may be. Maybe it's to encourage more members to join. That's it. That's all they want to focus on. I want to help them do that. That's my role. Other levels are the division. So each area director works with a division director. There are 5 divisions within the Bay Area for our district. And so I have a boss, essentially a division director, who supports me in my role and also is my connection to our district leadership. So the district is composed of the Bay Area and down the peninsula to Palo Alto. So that whole area, if I recall correctly, is made up of 138 Toastmasters clubs. That's a lot of people doing public speaking. That's a lot of people at various points on their journey, a lot of clubs at various points on their journey. So the district is really focused on encouraging training, providing information, providing resources, supporting everyone in where they are and what they want to do. So these are roles that you too can take on. When I joined Toastmasters several years ago and was a member of this club, I had no idea that there was this kind of infrastructure, these kind of leadership opportunities beyond this club. And I encourage you to not only remain active in our club, but think about how can you develop skills in other ways as well. For me, as an area director, I find I'm developing a consulting skill. I'm learning where clubs are and I'm supporting them where they want to go. If you are interested in consulting, that is often something you do. Learn about your client and then support them in achieving their goals. It's also really important to focus on communication. How do I convey information from the district to the clubs, and then how do I provide feedback from the clubs to the district? Being able to translate that information is really important and a skill that I know I'll use more in my career. And conferences, that's another great way to meet people and engage beyond our club. We'll be having a spring conference for our district, and I encourage all of you to attend. That's where we'll have these contests, the speech contests that I mentioned earlier. And that's a great opportunity to see some very impressive public speakers and also network with other folks. I met a lot of great, interesting people there, and I encourage you to do the same thing. So then there are other conferences and convention opportunities. So our club at a world stage, if you make it through all those levels of competition, and that is what happened in Chicago this summer. That's where the Toastmasters International Convention was. So if you want to go to interesting and fun cities, meet a lot of public speakers, that's where you can go. So I encourage you all to think about what you can do in terms of going beyond our club and take advantage of the learning and leadership opportunities that Toastmasters provides. Thank you.